So I don't usually look at InfoWars. I haven't actually looked at InfoWars in quite a while. I'm beginning to believe some of the folks on there are mentally ill. I was looking at InfoWars because a part of me wants to know, are conservatives going to wake up? Are they going to get it? And, that's as far as I'm willing to go into that spectrum. And, you read some of the comments on there, it's like mental illness. But I found something today that clearly makes no sense. And I want to show it to you. So today, they found out that China's got some new cases, 6 new cases. And they immediately started shutting things down again. Sam Cedars how I learned about this. I didn't know about this from any other source. And he was showing how, they were able to, I think they got something where every community has to make like a 10-point paper on how they're going to deal with the pandemic if it pops back up in their communities. Now, this could be nothing, or this could be the next wave. Remains to be seen. But just happened that I was on InfoWars today, and just happened to be on InfoWars today. So I'm washing dishes while I'm talking. And when I went on there, and this right here, this will show you the very definition of irony, in my opinion. I'm looking at it, and the first story that got my attention was them talking about how, why does the mass media want to keep the lockdowns going, right? And then the very next story was talking about China having new cases. And I'm going to tell you something. I actually stopped and read the forum. I don't read Alex Jones' stories because I don't respect Alex Jones. I don't care what he thinks, okay? But I read the comments sometimes. And so I was reading, and people are on there talking about how this is clearly a bioweapon thing. And check this out. Okay. The one thing I heard from conservatives that made any kind of sense, that I looked at and actually was somewhat reasonable, was the idea that this could have been a bioweapon, and that China, if they can get their economy running up and moving and bumping, then they can leap us. Okay. That made sense. I don't agree, but that made somewhat sense. That if they can get their stuff moving and we're still shut down, then, they can get ahead of the empire. I don't care about that. I'm sure most folks don't care about that specifically. Now, if that was the case, why would they, if this was all a plot, why would they cause another eruption of cases, which is going to, probably in the next week, they're going to have to shut the country down again to some extent. Shut down the manufacturing again to some extent. Why would they do that if this is fake? Do you really think China wants to A, kill their own people, and B, slow down their manufacturing and fuck up their economy even more after having to be shut down as long as they were? You really think China wants to do that? You're stupid. You're stupid. You got to be stupid to even think that. You got to be extremely stupid. And you just gotta hate Chinese people, which I know a lot of those guys do. You just gotta have a hate for Chinese people to think like that. Because that's stupid. That's stupid. Okay? And that shows you that this is not a bioweapon. This is a naturally occurring event, or this is something they didn't see coming. Now, who knows? I know at one time they were showing that the disease can come back. And then they said, no, testing people. They said, no, what it is when when you pass it or whatever, when you're cured of it, it just shows back up. That means it's coming out your body. And I guess it's something similar to when I smoke weed. And I don't smoke weed for a day or two. Usually it's about a day, but a day or two. And I can just smell it everywhere. I can just smell weed everywhere I go. That's similar to that. You're smelling, you're not getting high, but you can smell it everywhere you go. Because it's, you know what I mean? It's coming out of your body. It's beginning to come out your body. Now, I just thought it was funny that you could say something stupid, and then in the very next story, you can explain why I'm not sitting here. I'm not interested in sitting here and explaining to Infowars or to Alex Jones or to anybody who watches Infowars why we take this seriously, because I'm not interested in doing that at all. That's not interesting to me to do that. But and I know what it is. Alex Jones is an ideologue. He didn't used to be that way. He used to be someone who went against Republicans and Democrats. He doesn't do that now. Alex Jones is about fighting the culture war, and he's about spreading white supremacy and protecting and upholding white supremacy. That's what he's about. He's about upholding beer guzzling pigs. He's about upholding states' rights. He's upholding all that shit. And that's what that's it. And I'm not even mad about that no more. I'm not even saying it like I'm mad at it, or I just recognize it. That's him. For a while, I was embarrassed that I spent money on his products. I still have his these pills he made. I forgot what it's called. I took a few today. I was a little bit embarrassed. Like, I spent money on this shit, but it is what it is. I didn't spend money on, like, I'm leaving it at that. Leave it at that. Peace.